Good afternoon, Professor David. Good afternoon, Mr. Joshi, and the student from Japan, and my dear students. My name is Sushil B. Bajracharya. Currently, I am the Associate Professor and the Coordinator of the Master's Program in Energy in Sustainable Social Development in Department of Architecture, Institute of Engineering, Hulchok, Tribhuvan University. And my topic today is Design and Technology in Rural Houses of Nepal for the Post-Earthquake Reconstruction Training Program in future. I will go through the backgrounds, design, technology and green feature of rural house in Nepal, impact of Nepal earthquake 2015, activities after earthquake 2015, and towards the earthquake resistance design and construction of rural houses in hilly area of Nepal, and some conclusion. The background is our country lies between two big countries, neighbor country, India and Nepal. And we have only 147,181 square kilometers, very small, elongated between India and China. Our capital is Kathmandu, and we have many languages, Newari, Nepali, Gurung, Magar, Tamil, Tharu, etc. So Nepal is divided into three geographical regions according to climatic region. In the south, we have the hot climate with the Tarai region. In the middle, we have hilly region with warm climate. In the Himalayan, it is in the north and cool climate. So geographically, we divide according to climate. And if you see the cross section of the country, it's like 150 to 250 kilometers. So it's from the Tarai, it's up from the 50 to 60 meters from the sea level. And it goes like this to the top of the Mount Everest, 8,848 meters. So have within 150 kilometers, within 150 to 200 kilometers, we have big biodiversity. Different ethnic peoples in Nepal, near to India, near to China, and different culture, different tradition, different architecture. So we have the composition of different ethnic groups and the architecture, tradition, culture. So if we see the different region, in Himalayan, hilly, in Tarai region, we have different types of buildings. So if we talk about only the rural houses, rural buildings, we should concentrate in which area, in which region. In Himalayan region, we have you can see in the picture, you see the stone buildings, flat roof. I visited last time in Mustang in the May, the flat roof, different type of staircase, different type of setting of rooms. This is the courtyard type of building design. In the hilly area, especially in Kathmandu, if you see big exposed building, 2 to 3 to 4 story slope roof with natural material. This is building in the hilly region in the Palpa district, west part of Nepal. This building is made of the sun-dried bricks. And this is from the Gurung village, from the west part of the Nepal. And this is, you can see the roof is slate and building is like that. Okay? And if you see in the Tarai region, you can see the natural materials like bamboo, straw, mud, etc. You can see this is in the little inner Tarai side, in the down. So we have different types of typology in the buildings according to our region. So I'm talking today only in the hilly region, houses, rural houses in the hilly region, because we are focusing for the post-earthquake. The earthquake is affected nearly Kathmandu Valley, only in 13 districts, not in 75 districts. People are little say all Nepal, in all 75 districts, people, the earthquake had affected, but not true. Near the Kathmandu Valley, in 13 districts, these districts are affected more. So I am talking only in the design, technology and green features of rural houses in hilly region of Nepal. So if we see the rural building design in hilly region, the hilly region is nearly 500 to 2100 meter above sea level. It's not very high and it's not so low, like in Tarai, southern part of Nepal and the Himalayan area of Nepal. So if we see rural building design typology, it depends upon the ethnic people of the hilly region. Ethnic people means like Newars in Kathmandu Valley, Brahmin and Kshetri from east, Mechi zone to the west, Mahakal zone in the hilly area, in the Tamang near the Kathmandu Valley, Gurung in the west part of the Kathmandu Valley, and Margash also west part of the Kathmandu Valley. So little difference. You can see in the picture, this is the typical traditional buildings of Kathmandu Valley. This is the outside of Kathmandu Valley. This is building from the Gurung village. So we have different little bit design and construction little different according to the ethnicity, according to climate, according to region. In Nepal, many ethnic groups. But all the building design with the one form, materials and technology with respect to the local climate, local material, and local people. If we see the rural building design in hilly region, if we see the main characteristics of the settlement and the building pattern, we see that most of the settlement planning with the attached or detached type building. You can see in the picture, this is one of the villages in hilly area. You see in the Gurung Margar village, you see the cluster is grouped very together, buildings are together, but in Brahmin and Kshetri, they are a little bit scattered. They are also in the group, but little scattered, not like this. So you can see in this picture, all the villages located in the south part of the hill to take sunlight, This picture shows that. This is the cluster. Some villages are linear, some villages are in row, some villages are group. So different settlements according to location, site, according to ethnic group in the hilly area also we can see. In building planning, especially hilly area is little bit cold in winter, warm in summer, but most of the time is colder, not cold like in USA, but this seems colder than Tarai region, colder than the plain region. So we have also compact space planning, with 2 to 3 story. Maybe some people have 2, maybe some people, richer people in the village have 3-story building. So this living, kitchen, dining, bedroom in the ground floor, and they have bedroom and storeroom in upper floor, and with open courtyard in front side. Most of the people engage in the front of the building. They have spaces, open space, courtyard. When people come from other family, other neighbor, they talk in the courtyard, not inside. Okay, this is the little bit design in rural area. If we see the orientation of the building, you can see all the main facade of the building toward the south or southeast or the southwest, toward the sun, because all building depends upon the solar energy. So we say this is passive building, so passive solar architecture. The building already faces, you cannot see the window in the north part, in Nepal, in the hilly region, in the mountain region, only in the south, small window. You see, but all further lighting and heating purpose. This building do not have, we say this is free ventilated building, not like a mechanical ventilated building like in USA, in Japan, not closed. We always open window. We have cross ventilation, free ventilated building. So in this building we don't need cross ventilation. So we have only one side, in only one orientation we have the windows. You can see in all buildings they are here. So openings only in main front facade towards south, southeast, southwest regarding the location of the building. And the building is always with the horizontal projection of slope roof. This slope roof will cut off this rain in the monsoon season in June, July, August, as well as the sunlight in the summer. You can see some sun setting devices like that. You can see this is because in June, July, August we have monsoon season. So it should be protected to wall and should be protected to window from the sunlight as well as rainfall. So we cannot see window in the north part. That is a specific in all buildings, all kinds of building in all ethnic groups. So rural building material, if we talk about the material and technology, all the materials we can find locally. All the material is, we say, the natural, because all the material are stone. Some part, if they can build brick, but not more. This is sun-dried brick. Most of the building have sun-dried brick. They use sun-dried brick. And timber, that is also locally available. Mud, you can find near the site, near the village. Surki is the powder of the brick that is used for mortar to join stone or to do plastering, and lime. Sometimes they use also lime, especially if you go in the Bhaktapur now, you can see the lime and surki mortar. They are using lime and surki mortar in the temple and the palaces, in the high-class building. Otherwise, in local building, they use only mud. And this, all buildings are with a thick wall, minimum 30 centimeter, the maximum 45, maximum other, some building has 60 centimeter thick. So we say that massive wall, and it attracts sunlight. We say it is this is the thick wall works as the thermal mass, because it traps the sunlight and it warms and it radiates the heat inside. So if we see the floor height, we check there is very less height in the hilly area, in building, maximum 7 feet. Because it's cold climate, if you go everywhere, planning is compact and height is less to conserve heat energy. If volume of the building room is high, then you need more energy to heat. So in every part of the world, I saw that in Japan and USA also much more compact planning to conserve the heat energy, to use less heat energy by active system or passive system. So we have also same. The roof is sloped with maybe zingerty or maybe slate tile, maybe nowadays after earthquake, most of the building, reconstructed building use galvanized iron, corrugated CGI roof. I am very against with the CGI roof because it is not climate responsive. Because when it's summer, it cools. When it's winter, it warms. So beyond the CGI roof, the climate is opposite. If summer, the temperature goes more than outside in winter. So I always say that if you use CGI roof, use insulated CGI roof with insulation. But in the rural area, people do not think about insulation. They just put the CGI roof. That is now they are doing. Otherwise, we have the thick roof to protect heat from the outside in summer and conserve heat in the winter. So if you see the green features of the rural building, this is, as we say, green, it must be environmental benefit. If you check this, all houses are eco-friendly houses because they use only the locally available green materials. They will not use transported material from the long distance. They cannot afford, They use brick if they have, the brick is available locally. If brick is not available, they use stone. This is sun-dried brick used in Palpa district. And other building, they use brick or either brick or stone. And mud mortar, mud plaster, clay tile, timber, etc. This material produces less embodied energy, compared to modern materials, cement, reinforcement, concrete, etc., etc. So less carbon emission material compared to modern building material they use. So this material are not need to transport from the long distance. That is why it has environmental benefit. So we save environment if we use local material, traditional material. We have also number 2 is social benefit. People think that if we in Kathmandu or outside the Kathmandu Valley, people say, especially old people, this traditional building has good thermal performance compared to modern building. They say this building is warmer in winter and cooler in summer compared to modern building. When they go to live in modern building, they feel very cold in winter and feel very warm in summer. That is why I did my PhD research to compare these buildings in Kathmandu Valley. I took traditional buildings of the Kathmandu Valley and I took some other contemporary building of Kathmandu Valley. I put thermometers and checked, and I found in my PhD dissertation 1 to 2 degrees Celsius is economized in traditional building. I prove it with lab experiment, with the measuring temperature, with the asking people, with questionnaire survey. Really they feel comfortable. They say yes, but there are some problems. The low maintenance problem in the traditional building. If they maintain this building very well, this building proved more comfortable, in my opinion. Because I checked, I got only 1 to 2 degrees Celsius warmer in winter compared to the modern building. I found 1 to 2 degrees Celsius less than the contemporary building. It means it's cooler. So when I went to the Tokyo City University and I talked with professor, they said it's very energy efficient. If 1 degree is equals to 10% of energy efficiency, 2 degrees is 20%. And that means the 10 to 20% energy economy and these buildings. So this building is already proved that this is comfortable to the occupants, those people who use it. So they have social benefits because this building use passive solar design according to orientation, material, load-bearing walls with the thermal mass. So I went to the last time in the May in the very cool area, not part of the Nepal, in Mustang. And I asked, now people, they don't live there because very cold. It's now minus 20 degrees Celsius, like that, in one of the villages in Jom, Mustang. And they say there are many hotels for tourists because it lies in the Annapurna base, Annapurna trekking route. And people go in the big hotel. They go inside and they cannot sit. And they came back to the traditional building. And they can sit in the traditional building compared to modern building. So this is the failure rate in the contemporary building, hotel, especially hotel in Mustang, in Jom, in the different villages near trekking route. That is their observation when I went and I got it. As I mentioned, this is my research. So this building creates good thermal environment inside. Nepalese people do not warm buildings. Last time I had professor from Tibet University, and we went to Pokhara and different part, around Pokhara, Kathmandu and different part. And they said that in Tibet, Lhasa, now vacation, because very cool. They came here in December and they said, do you feel okay? When they say here, their president told us, for us like summer in outside. When they went to the hotel, they said very cold. I asked them, why cold? You are in Tibet, in Lhasa, you have the less temperature than here. But they told me, we warm our house. In your country, in this hotel, you don't have warming system, so we feel a little cold. So that is the problem. Heating. But this type of building, if you heat, we don't heat, but if you heat less, it warms. In Mustang also, they use fire. But it doesn't need 24 hours. It needs for 3 to 4 hours. Then the heat is generated and thermal mass absorb heat and it warms very fast. The next is this building green because this building has also economical benefits. Like this building people can afford. They cannot afford modern material like cement, like concrete, like reinforcement bar, like other things which can be transported from long distance. In a rural area, the transportation cost is very high, than Kathmandu Valley. So material is locally available. People can build this building with their own knowledge. So this building they use as typology to orange south and build more floor height less. They use maximum solar energy. They use less conventional energy heating by petrol, diesel or etc. to create thermal compost. That means they save energy for the heating and cooling. I think for the cooling they don't need any energy in summer, in these buildings. Now let's say the impact of Nepal earthquake 2015 because we are preparing this presentation for the Nepal this authority for the reconstruction. So let's say this is the reminding of the impact of Nepal earthquake 2015. We had two big earthquakes on 25th April and 12th May in 2015 with magnitude 7.8 Richter scale and 7.3 Richter scale. So you can see in the picture, this is the Dharahara. This is not more. You cannot see in this Kathmandu. So most of the historical monuments were collapsed. This is the before, this is after the earthquake. This is before and this is the after earthquake in Kathmandu Darbar Square. And you can see other places also. This is before and this is after the 2015 earthquake. So if we go the earthquake historic background, the Himalayan region is the Himalayan system, we say Himalayan seismic belt, because these two sides from Indian plate and Tibetan plate always have they have the different activities. So we are mostly seismically active region in the world. The seismic experts say this is in the 5th zone of the world. So it is between Indo-Tibetan plate. It always, they have the geological problem in these two. So Nepal lies. People say also we have many mountains, Himalayan, because of this Indo-Tibetan plate. If we go back to the historic background, this is India, this is Tibet, China. This is a different time period. We have different types of earthquake in and near Nepal. This is the data from our ministry. This is data from the Wikipedia. If we go back to 13th century, we had also big earthquake, but what is the magnitude, we don't know. But if we go, we did that so that nearly in every 100 years we have 8 Richter scale earthquake. And nearly 50 years we have 5 to 6 Richter scale earthquake in Nepal. Now this is also the data. This is the one of the biggest earthquake in 1934 with magnitude 8.4, mostly affected in Kathmandu Valley and the Bihar of India. And this is in 2011, 6.6 magnitude earthquake affected mostly in Kathmandu and in the Bengal part of India. And this is the latest 2015 Gorkha earthquake, magnitude with 7.8, mostly affected in Kathmandu Valley, nearby Kathmandu Valley and Bihar, India. So within 3 weeks, we had 2 big earthquakes. So affected, especially, this is Kathmandu, this is Pokhara. First one from the Barpak, the west part of the Kathmandu, second one from the Sindhupalchok. You know? So this 2 earthquakes affected only in 11 districts out of 75 districts in Nepal. I was in Pokhara when the first earthquake was held, but I didn't feel so much affected in Pokhara. When I came back after 2 days at Kathmandu, many post-earthquake was held, so scarcity, you know. So most of the earthquake heated and most of the affected area is near Kathmandu Valley. So according to our Home Ministry, nearly house damage is 885,000. That is the total household of 20% household of Nepal, nearly. And fully damaged is 600,000. And partially damaged house is 285,000. Nearly 9,000 people lost their life. And 22,000 people injured. And hit 97 aftershock above magnitude 4 till 11 July 2015. So these are the picture after the earthquake. And many historical monuments were collapsed in the capital city, Kathmandu. And many Nepalese people live in tent. This is tent in Tribhuvan, in the center of the Kathmandu Valley. And also in the transitional shelter like this. Transitional shelter in different part of the country. This is the historical damaged monuments in Swayambhu. This is the palace in Kathmandu Darbar Square. This is the Patan Darbar Square. This is the institutional building, university building of Tribhuvan University. Main building of Tribhuvan is collapsed. And this is the highway. This is the highway in the rural area. Also, we have landslide, also damaged infrastructure in and around Kathmandu Valley. So, most of the damage in rural shelter. If you go to the data, in Kathmandu, nearly 2,000 people were lost life. In Sindhupalchok district, also same. But if you compare the population, is vary from 10 times. So in the rural area, mostly damaged the old rural houses. You can see all the houses, old rural houses, brick, stone, are damaged due to the geological condition, due to the near epicenter. You know, in the Sindhupalchok, in the Dading, in the Nuwapur are the near the epicenter. And these buildings are made of stone, brick, timber, mud, etc. And these buildings are, I say that, constructed without earthquake-resistant design consideration. There are some weakness in masonry wall, especially in the rural area. They used, if we go and check, they used the rubble stone without mortar. They use it, they built masonry wall without considering earthquake design. They make it without any knowledge of the earthquake resistance because local people built it, owner built it. In villages, not like in Kathmandu, not like by masons, carpenter, they build by themselves. Because if we train them how to build this building, then they can build earthquake resistance building. I will show how to build and how our students already built in Sindhupalchok, one of the building which is earthquake resistance. So that is why if you see why these buildings were collapsed, you see there are weakness in joints, there is weakness in masonry wall. But if you compare with the concrete building, if I say one building in Kathmandu, concrete building, there were many people, more than 50 people in only one building. That building collapsed we like we say after the earthquake, pancake, like pancake, this way, you know, only rubbles, nothing left. And many people lost life in it's only one building. But if you go Kokona, not far away from here, you know, many buildings, traditional buildings were collapsed. Not collapsed fully, partially. But people, life loss is less. Only 8, within 800 buildings. That means in concrete building, life loss is high. Many buildings collapse in village, in rural area. Loss of life is less because this building not collapse fully. They can survive. More people are injured but not lost in life. That is observed by the UN Habitat Nepal in Kokana. You can go and see. In Kokana, many buildings you see the partially collapsed, not all. But if you go to Chaumati in Kathmandu, you cannot see the building now. This building, after the earthquake, you can see like pancake. No, nothing is left. In that building, many life lost. So people say concrete building is better. We say no, life loss is high in concrete building if that is not designed according to earthquake resistance. This building is more safer. This is the impact after the earthquake in daily social life. Immediately people don't have shelter. Their shelter they cannot live, so they use tents. This is the center part of the Kathmandu. And there was scarcity of water. You can see no water in tents, you know. And there is scarcity of building material. So they are using their own building material, you know, to build their house again. So there are lack of health and hygienic service. The drinking water taken from far away. They don't know is it drinkable or not. So there are health problems. Health services less in the tent. They have body killing. So still people in rural area, in Sindhupalsu, in Dading, in Nuwapur, still living in, some people living in, still in the transitional shelter, you know. So we need to design and construct most of the building in villages. I'm trying to say that what we have done after the earthquake, some activities from our Tribhuvan University Institute of Engineering. We formed the group of teachers, professors, experts with students, and we did the rapid visual assessment. We say RVA for post-earthquake damages. We formed the Nepal Engineering Association, our Institute of engineers from government did separately. We did in the university buildings only, okay? And we also designed and constructed the transitional shelter by our students. With the help of our students, our department, they also designed the transitional shelter for those people who are victim of the earthquake. And we had some mitigation program, and we also had some master's program in disaster management in IOE before earthquake, because we know that we will have earthquake in future. So we already started master's program in disaster management in IOE, Institute of Engineering. We had done some training courses, our institute, our government, the UN Habitat Nepal. We did many trainings in Dharan, Pokhara, in Institute of Engineering. We did workshops. We did exhibition how to build traditional shelter or rural building in our institute. We demonstrated how to build the traditional building for earthquake resistance. And many our municipalities, Kathmandu, Lalitpur, Bhaktapur, revised their bylaws. Now you can see in Kathmandu, if designed residential building, you have bigger column, you know, 1 feet by 1 feet. If you go back before earthquake, you see only 9 inch by 9 inch column. and with less reinforcement. Now we have strictly following the earthquake resistance design for the residential building. Before that, only for the institutional building, the structural engineer calculate and design. For the residential building, only architect design or owner design, that is not sufficient for the earthquake resistance. So now we have updated bylaws. So according to bylaws, our building after earthquake, we have to design seismic vulnerability. We have to design the structural drawings to resist the earthquake. And our government also formed the Nepal Reconstruction Authority to do the reconstruction work in our country. So this is the activity after the earthquake. I also led one team from our Institute of Engineering. We had 10 teams from Institute of Engineering. I'm one of the team leader, and I and my team went to the Tribhuvan University, these buildings in Kirtipur, and we inspected 34 buildings, more than 34 central department of Tribhuvan University in Kirtipur for several days. In the second largest earthquake day, on 29th May, I was there. I was inspecting building. At that time, we felt the second largest earthquake. During inspection, this building was collapsed, our Sanskar building. We were here. We inspected many buildings. This is the building of botany department, very old building. This is the building of management. And professor from the Tokyo City University also came to help us. They also joined in our team to inspect this building. And first of all, in the rapid visual assessment, we did categorize building. This building is green. Green is chef. You can go inside, you know. And other is yellow, partially swept. You cannot live there, you know. And it has to be maintained. And another is red, not chef. This building is not safe. It's a red. You cannot go near by this building. So just we categorize. Later on, we did detailed assessment of this building. Now our Tribhuvan University is reconstructing the yellow buildings and green buildings, not red one. Red one they demolished. This building is no more demolished, and they are making new building in that part. And our student also from Department of Architecture, maybe they are also involved in ASRE. तपाईहरु कोही आश्रयसँग थियो involvement?
How many of you are involved in any of this work here with traditional shelters?
I think there's me and
Where are you?
on the top one.
Top one?
Yeah, the biggest. Yeah, the background of the camera.
So they form ASRE Nepal. ASRE means Nepal is shelter, you know. This is transitional shelter for the victims of earthquake, year 15. So this is volunteer organization to provide transitional shelter, and they designed it. They consulted with us, professor of Department of Architecture. They consulted with me also. This is a galvanized iron sheet. It's not good for climate, and we have done some insulation. We have put inside the in Nepali Sudari Chulo, the special chulo, that is the chulo inside here. So these are the students who went to the village and they built this. One of you are also there. Sudip, which one?
Yeah.
This one?
No.
Where is this?
It's in Sindhupal's Majigao, where
Sindhupal,
Majigao, that's the place where the guy give presentation about the CSCD blocks.
But you
That's the same village.
Okay. How long did you
We
spend
spent
there?
about
20 days.
4 days there.
On Sunday.
Okay. They did this type of building, and this building, they not only built, they built as a model. And they train people, local people. They train the local organizers. They train the technician, local technician. And this building, this transit shelter were copied in all over Nepal. You can go in the highway, you can go villages, you can see. Because they came here. First of all, they built this in our Department of Architecture, first one. And people came here. When we did exhibition, they came here, they saw the walls, they asked them, and they also went with them, and they also trained here also in the villages, and they built, they copied. So they constructed 2,300 transitional shelters in 13 affected districts voluntarily. And so this is the first step after the earthquake. Then we have the many mitigation programs in the past and after the earthquake. I already said our government also formed the Nepal Reconstruction Authority, NRA, our government, our institute, and Society of Earthquake Technology, Onsite, NGO also have done a few mitigation programs after earthquake. Our institute has already started the MS program in disaster, and our institute did RVA, Rapid Visual Assessment Program. Our government did the public awareness program through media, announced official earthquake day in 16 January, and our municipality has changed bylaws for the earthquake resistant building. NSIT, the NGO, also the public awareness program like this, and the after coming 2 days, day after tomorrow is earthquake day in Nepal, remembering the earthquake on 2nd March in Nepali calendar. They demonstrate, and I think this is not sufficient because people knew already that we will have earthquake, big earthquake, but local people, general people, not aware of this. The expert knew and said already forecast Nepal will have big earthquake, but people did not believe. So this is the earthquake day on 16 January for the awareness demonstration program in different places. You see, this is in the demonstration for the earthquake awareness in Darbar Square in Kathmandu. This is the training program. This is also in the Mongol Bazaar, I think. This program in the square in the Mongol Bazaar. So they have done a lot of awareness program before earthquake also. So they also have written some manual. They also train the masons how to design, construct earthquake resistance building, but that is not sufficient. The masons are very less, only in Kathmandu Valley. So they also did the training with these sketches, books, how to design and construct rural building with stone masonry, how to tie up, how to, if you do not tie up, then this will, after earthquake, this will happen. So you need to tie up in the gable end. All this kind of information were passed, written, and trained for the people, but not for all, and for very less people. So I want to say want to show the demo ruler house designed and constructed by our students, by the ASRE Nepal, with the help of the professor from Department of Architecture, with the help of the Tokyo City University. So this is the one of the demo building. This is designed and constructed in the Nisanku VDC in Sindhu Palchok, Nepal. Sindhu Palchok is one of the highly affected district after earthquake. So this is the design. This is the pilot project. This is already completed, just completed. This is demo rural house, how to design earthquake resistant building in rural with the participation of community, and already handed over in this is in the Tamang village. Now this owner is Tamang family. So this is design and supervision by the Ashray Nepal students, and sometimes they come and consult with us. And this is, we also, Department of Architecture and Tokyo City University also involved. We also finance 30% for this building. And this function to start this building in our department. This building is constructed within 2 months, because the villagers are ready to design and construct. They already collected the materials, and our students from this Ashray Nepal went time to time for supervise and to guide them with the slogan, "Build Back Better." So this building, I will show the photographs of this building also. This is the design. This design is based on the traditional rural building form. This rectangular form, the plan is 8.4 to 6.4 meter and 1 to 3 story. That they have designed flexible. If people don't have money, they have to live, they can design 1 story. If they want 2 story, they can design 2, maybe 3. This is flexible design they provided, and they gave the technical details, how to design the section, ground floor, all, and with the traditional look, slope roof, main facade towards courtyard, with veranda. You can see veranda over there. In this building, what they did is how to minimize earthquake effect. So they designed with the different systems, joint interlock bracing. You can see there in the first picture, all these ties, these wooden ties, they use in sill level, lintel level, floor level, creating box effect for seismic resistance. You see there. And they have corner bracing also there, you can see. And corner bracing wooden post, the vertical wooden post in the wall, and it also ties with the sill, lintel and floor level to act as a single unit during earthquake. So also tie in gavel end, this also tie. You can see the gavel end. Many buildings were collapsed only in the gavel part. So they also show the ties, they show the ties, horizontal ties, vertical ties, and vertical ties in different level with wooden material. So they don't need the reinforcement bar. People think that if you use only reinforcement bar, the building will be safe. That is not true. We can use it by local materials also. So they also calculated cost. It's a little bit high because it's 3-story. It is a little bit demo building. And people collected material, stone, you can see, for the foundation and wall in the landslide area after the earthquake. This building total cost is 12,70,000 Nepalese rupees. And you can see the different figure. This is the foundation trench. This is with trench with the wooden post. You see the foundation laying. After foundation, you can see after 3 feet, they have the horizontal tie to press, to reinforce this building for the earthquake resistance. You can see the local material, technology, labor, local carpenter is working, local masons is working, also working, the house owner also working. So you can see many people working with this technology, wooden bracing. You can see the same technology as previous local technology they are using there. This is the interior view, that is exterior view, interior view. The material technology is same like previous traditional building, but they use the earthquake resistance design and technology in this building. The mortar is mud, stone, all the material is timber. There are the team who work here. So this is like the same like the traditional building. So we can say that with the help of earthquake resistance, building design and technology, we can design and construct safer rural houses. In the rural area of Nepal in future, vernacular buildings are not vulnerable. If you design and construct one way, then it's vulnerable, without considering earthquake impact in future. If you have, this building is much more greener, as already said, because local material, local technology, local labor, you cannot have transportation from long distance. But when you design and construct this type of building, you need little awareness in design and construction practice. If you train people, you show the design and show the three-dimensional figure, 3D to them, and show them in the site, they can design and construct this building. And they can copy. This is only one building in Istanbul. They didn't build much more, but this is the demo building. Then they will see and they will build another building. So I can say this traditional building is still effective, still safer, still greener compared to modern building. This is my references I used to prepare my slide. Okay, thank you very much.